We'll give everyone time to log in.
Oops, I'm gonna stop sharing for a second
Absolutely.
because something messed up here. Can't see my presentation screen. Hold on, let's see. Try this again. There we go. Where is my presentation screen?
I can see it.
Yeah, I can see it
can't.
on here too, Andrea.
Oh, interesting. I cannot see it. Okay, let me stop sharing again for some reason. I don't know why it doesn't want to. Let me try sharing it without presentation mode, and then I'll put it in presentation mode. Let's see if that'll work. And then I'll put it in presentation. Oh, okay. Now I can see it. Okay.
You can see it now?
Yeah.
And as well as I can
Technology,
too, so.
gotta love it.
Oh, seriously, honestly.
Good morning, Robert.
Doris is autopilot.
And that autopilot is pretty cool. I don't think Miss Williams will be on this call, but that autopilot, it automatically takes notes and summarizes the webinar.
Yeah, I love Otter AI. I only have the free version, so I only have the 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So I was like, I refuse to pay for the for the full version. But that's cool that I didn't realize the otter can join if you can't. That's pretty cool.
Yes,
I wonder if that's
really cool. Love it.
Yeah. Do you know if that's only with the paid version or is it also available for the free?
Gotta be the free because we don't pay for it. and I didn't know it did that either until actually yesterday because Miss Williams was on vacation this week. We had a webinar yesterday, and I saw that. Oh, wow,
that is cool. Her otter AI is going to have this whole summarized conversation.
Right. Oh.
Guess we can wait a couple minutes for a few more people to join, and let me ping Saliwe. I don't know where. Actually, Tom, can you ping Saliwe? I can't seem to find my open Teams. See if she's able to join. Did you get Saliwe's bio, Sean? I emailed it to you.
I saw it. I'm gonna introduce you, then you can introduce anyone from your team.
Okay, awesome, great, thank you. Give it a couple minutes.
All right.
Guess we can start at like 11:05 or something like that. Give people 5 minutes or something like that. Three
I
or 5
normally
minutes.
give them a couple extra minutes, and
then
we'll get started because we do record it, so they do miss out.
Oh, that's good. Okay. Okay, good. So I'll try not to do too many ums and ers. I'm terrible with the ums.
Hi, everybody.
And I went to Toastmasters. Hey,
good morning.
Good morning. Sorry about that. I was on with. I had my evaluation with Lisa. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool,
No
cool.
worries. We're all
All
running
right,
from
that's
meeting
fine.
to meeting.
That's fine. And I just finished up with her as well, Saliwe,
Oh.
before you jumped on. So I apologize. I
Oh,
had
no.
forgotten you were going to be
No,
next. So,
it's cool.
it's
Cool.
the
My
end of the
Teams was
fiscal
acting really
year.
weird this morning. Like my Teams, like it wouldn't let me join anything. It kept telling me like I was on a call with like this out of. I was like, I'm not in a call. Like, so I had to go out and like come back in. So sorry, but.
Oh, wow.
That's okay. You're good. You're good.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's the end of our fiscal year this week. Starting
Yeah.
we'll start July
Yeah.
1st. So all the end of year stuff is happening this week.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yes.
Well, hopefully Lisa's feeling better. I know she was under the weather, so hopefully she didn't do y'all's assessments sick.
No,
Oh,
she sounded okay to me.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, she sounded good when I talked to her. So.
nice.
Good.
Give everybody one more minute, then we'll
Alright.
get started.
Sounds
Hey.
good. I keep singing "Good Morning" from "Singing in the Rain" ever since Virginia popped on. I said good morning.
Oh.
All right. Well,
Mhm.
let's get started.
Right. You know when you're. So I'm good to go.
Yes. All right. Thank
Okay.
you, everyone, for attending our best practices and job search process and proper etiquette. Today, our guest speaker is going to be Andrea Horton Marichli.
Yes.
And she is a talent acquisition diversity specialist in the Office of Human Resources at the University of Pittsburgh and sources diverse candidates for current and future staff positions across the university. She is a seasoned professional dedicated to fostering diversity and inclusion with a background in DEI, workforce development, and education. She has a passion for social equity and has championed the rights of minorities and marginalized populations throughout her career and has made some impactful contributions to diversity initiatives and a steadfast commitment to fostering inclusive environments. She has a D&I certificate from Cornell and a Bachelor of Science from UTEP. Andrea, please introduce your
Awesome.
team and take over.
Thank you so much, Sean, and thank you for having us present today. We're always excited to do presentations to community organizations and professional organizations. So as Sean said, my name is Andrea Horton Marichli, and thank you so much, Sean, for pronouncing my name correctly. That Turkish last name is always difficult. So thank you. With me today are two of my wonderful colleagues, Saliwe Jones and Tom Armstrong. I will let them introduce themselves because they know themselves best, but they are wonderful. I'm so glad they were able to join us today. Saliwe, why don't you introduce yourself first?
Hello again. So, like Andrea said, my name is Saliwe Jones, and I'm with the talent acquisition team. My position here at the University of Pittsburgh is the workforce career counselor, and I work primarily out of our community engagement centers located in Homewood and on the Hill. where I connect with members from the community and surrounding communities of the centers and work with them one-on-one and help provide like workforce trainings in order for them to obtain employment at the University of Pittsburgh. So it pretty much involves all aspects, including, resume and cover letter revisions, intake meetings, information gathering, and that sort of thing, as well as job fairs. Thank you.
Absolutely. Tom?
Okay, thanks, Andrea. Good morning, everyone, and it's great to be here. Thank you for the invite. We really appreciate it. So my name is Tom Armstrong. I've been at Pitt since 2015, and my role is diversity recruiting and transition consultant. And what we mean by that specifically and a little more focused is that my sourcing happens with individuals with disabilities. I work with veterans, veteran spouses, veterans with disabilities. I work with a lot of other groups out there, but that's really been the focus of our diverse hiring over the almost 10 years that I've been at Pitt now. And I come really from a background of human services. And so that when this position opened up at Pitt, because of my background in human services and working with people with disabilities, I was very interested, in looking at this. And so I get this great opportunity to work with wonderful colleagues like Andrea and Saliwe. The three of us really have come together, and it's been a good team effort. So we're delighted to be here, and thank you so much.
Awesome, thank you. And I'll be doing the presentation today, and Thomas will be manning the chat and chiming in to give their input as well during the session. If you have any questions during the session, please feel free to put them in the chat instead of holding off at the end. There will be a Q&A, and we'll address all questions towards the end at the end of the session. But if you're like me and you forget your question, if you don't get it out there, type it in the chat, and we will get to all the questions in the chat as well as real-time questions at the end. All right, so as Sean said, our presentation today is best practices in the job search process and proper etiquette, with a focus on applying to jobs at the University of Pittsburgh. Okay, our agenda today is we're going to discuss an overview of the University of Pittsburgh's hiring process. Then we're going to talk about a little bit about how to craft and tailor a standout resume and cover letter. Then talk about effective job search and interview strategies, common pitfalls to avoid in your job search, and professional communication and follow-up techniques. So let's get started. So University of Pittsburgh's hiring process. So to apply to a position, all of our positions are online and applications are online. Our application site is called join.pitt.edu. It is Talent Center, and it encompasses all of our positions, from staff positions to faculty positions, our temporary positions, and our postdoc positions as well. So to find, I'm going to share my little drop down here. I'm going to move this over here. So to find a position, you're going to go, this is our landing page. You're going to go to the find positions here, go to our drop down menu for the staff, faculty, postdoc, or temporary. You're going to go to the staff or the temporary positions. We do have an internal staffing agency that I will be talking about in a little bit. But when you go to the positions, you're going to, as it says here on the slide, which you can't see right now, you're going to want to keyword search, because titles can be all over the place. And so you're going to want to keyword search by either duties or specific criteria in a job that you're looking for, like if you know Oracle, or if you are in IT or technology or research, you're going to want to search by those keywords. You can also search by the function and the department, but it is important to note that we do have 4 campuses, so you might want to just select the Pittsburgh campus if you're looking for Pittsburgh-based positions. Though most of the positions in our job database are in Pittsburgh, there are a few, as you can see, that are at our 4 campuses, regional campuses. So you're going to want to, any position that interests you, you're going to want to click on it, read through it, and then scroll down to look at the requirements for it. And that's important in any job posting, whether it's for the University of Pittsburgh or another organization or university, look at the requirements. So there's rarely a perfect candidate that fits 100% of the requirements. If you fit like 80 to 85% of the requirements, apply. Do not make the decision for the hiring manager. Okay, so you're going to want to apply with your resume for University of Pittsburgh. You can either click apply online or sign in and create your free profile and upload your resume and cover letter, your targeted resume and targeted cover letter for that position. Okay, so let me bring this back. All right. I did that. So when you create your account, you're going to upload your resume, and you have the option of checking this box that says, do you want your profile to be automatically filled from the information from your resume? You can check that box if you want, but if you do, it's important to review the information to make sure that it populated correctly. It doesn't always populate correctly. You want to make sure the dates are correct, the correct titles underneath the correct organization, and the correct duties are correct under the correct position. And sometimes if you have like page 2 on your resume, like it's typed on page 2, it might put page 2 in one of the descriptions. So you want to make sure that that's deleted. That's not in the description of one of your positions. So it is important to note that each job will require a separate application. And with that, even though your profile is in there, the profile is going to be in there. You don't have to retype everything for every application. You just have to make sure that it's adjusted a little bit for each time you apply to a different job. And when you apply to a different job, you're going to want to upload a different resume and a different cover letter. Even if it's a similar position to what you applied to before, you're going to want to tweak those documents to fit that job description and that department. And we'll get into that a little bit later. So as I said before, all of our applications are online only. We don't take paper applications. Talent Center is ADA compliant and works with assistive technology. So if you require any type of like Kurzweil or something like that to read things to you, it does. It is compliant with those types of softwares. If you don't have a computer at home, you only have an iPad or a phone, you can go to our Office of Human Resources in Oakland, and there's the address here. Right here, and but Monday through Thursday by appointment only. So you will need to contact the phone number here or the online contact form and make an appointment. You can also go and make an appointment or walk into one of our community engagement centers that Sliwe sits at in the Hill District or Homewood, and also if you're closer to Hazelwood, you can make an appointment with her. To go to the Hazelwood location. That one is an appointment only. If you need some type of assistance or would like some types of suggestions for your application and resume. So your application moves entirely online. So once you apply, it's going to say, new and needs to be reviewed in the status section. So you can always log in and check the status of your application in your job bank, your My Jobs page in your profile. It'll let you know if you've been, if you're under consideration, under review, or unfortunately, if you've been rejected for the position. But if you've been rejected for the position, it should send you an email letting you know that. The other ones, like under review and in consideration, you won't get an email. Usually, if you're in consideration, that means that they're probably going to be contacting you for a phone interview, and then see if you can move on through our interview process. So it's important just to check the status of your job application regularly, like once a week, and make sure that you check your email as well, because recruiters will be and or hiring managers will reach out via email first. So you want to make sure you check your email daily, and that it's cleaned up from any junk and spam and stuff. It's also important to check your spam and junk folders too, in case the correspondence went to there instead of your inbox. So check it every day. So as I was saying, every job application is going to require a separate resume and cover letter. Now, in our job application system, it says the cover letter is optional in the system, but most of our hiring managers are still old school. They put a lot of weight on that cover letter, and so all of the resumes and cover letters are read by human eyes. So you want to make sure that when you upload those documents into your application, that they're targeted specifically for that position, and it's not just the same old resume that you're applying for every position, and you're not using the same generalized cover letter for every position. That doesn't make the best first impression. It makes us think that you're not serious about that position. You're just applying to as many jobs as you want using the same document. So take the time to tweak the documents a little bit to target them. We will be going into more depth in the resume and cover letter, how to target it in a few minutes. So for the resume, there's 3 different types of resumes that you could choose from. The standard, most traditional one is the chronological resume. That's where you have your name and contact information at the top, and then you have your work experience from the most recent to the oldest, and then your education. And you can have volunteer experience in there as well, from most recent to oldest. And that is great if you're if you're applying to the same type of jobs like that you've been working in already. So if you're a communications marketing person, and that's where most of your jobs have been in, and you're applying to communication and marketing positions, you can use a chronological resume. A functional resume is presents your experience under skills headings. So it's more focused on the skill set, the transferable skills you bring to the role that you're applying to. And so you have your name. The heading is always going to be the same on all these types of resumes. Your name and contact information at the top. You'll have your profile or your summary, whatever you want to call it. And then you have your skills, the 3 to 4 skills that that job is asking for, that you have gained over the jobs and volunteering opportunities in your past. So all the skills, all the bullets under those skill sets are going to be kind of mixed, matched, and combined from all your jobs. So if you have customer service, you're going to look at all the jobs you've had, and any customer service related duties you had in all those jobs are going to go under the customer service skill set. Maybe computers and information systems or something like that. Anything that dealt with computers and information systems from any of your jobs, all those duties are going to go under that skill set. And maybe you have communication skills. Anything that dealt with communication type duties in all your previous roles, all those bullets are going to go under that skill set. And then once you fill out your skills with all the bullets that are mixed matched from all your jobs that fit those bullets and the skills, you're going to have your employment and then your education. We will be showing samples of those shortly. Then you have your combination resume. This one is a lot more popular. I always use the combination resume, and it's a combination of the chronological and functional, where you have your name and contact information, your profile, your skills section, with many bullets, and then your work experience that has detailed bullets of your duties, and then your education. So as I said, this one's probably the most popular type of resume among job seekers today. Then you have your cover letter. This is basically the why are you applying to this position? What makes you the best fit candidate, the best candidate for this position? It's almost like your elevator pitch. in a Word document, in a one-page Word document. So you want to make it specific to that job and that company and that department that you're applying to. And so that's where your research and all is going to come into play of the organization and that department, because you want to put information as to why you want to work there, how you will benefit them, and that will come from researching the organization and the department. And it also highlights your accomplishments. It expands on information from your resume. It doesn't regurgitate things from your resume. It expands on things. So, and as I said, it's your advertisement. It's your commercial. It's your elevator pitch as to what makes you the stellar candidate for this position in this organization, in this department. And it's important that any correspondence, resumes, cover letters, applications, online applications, email correspondence, it's important that you proofread everything, because we know what we wanted to write, so our mind automatically sees it. And the computer doesn't always catch things like the homonyms, right? So it's always a good practice to have somebody look it over. At least one or two people look at something over before you submit it, because whatever you send online, that's your first impression. Okay, so if it's full of typos and grammatical errors, that's not going to be the best first impression. That means that it puts us an idea in our mind that, oh, they're not, they don't have attention to detail. They just get things done very quickly and not look at the outcome. So it puts a lot of possibly negative thoughts in the recruiters and hiring managers' mind. So you want to make sure things are grammatically correct. And in today's world, with all the texting and social media, especially with our younger generations, grammar's sort of like gone out of the, it's not a question anymore. Everybody just texts and uses acronyms and abbreviations. So it makes it that much more important to proofread these documents. Okay, so now let's talk about how to craft and tailor a standout resume and cover letter. So resume best practices: use high impact action words and phrases. So demonstrated, researched, implemented, impacted, those powerful action verbs, right? So every bullet should start with a powerful action word. And you shouldn't use the same one over and over again. Developed, responsible for, or in charge of, or supervise, manage. You don't want to be redundant. So you can look at your synonyms as well. But online, there's wonderful, if you Google resume action words, there's tons of lists online that will categorize things for you as well. Like these action words are for this type of category. These action words are for this type of category. So there's a lot of free stuff online that you can utilize when you're trying to improve your resume and cover letter. So you also want to use formatting to visually organize your information on the resume. So you don't want it to be all text only, because nothing's going to stand out. It's going to be too busy for the eye. So that's where bullets and indenting different sections and bolding titles and maybe positions or italicizing things comes into play, because it'll let us know, okay, these larger bulleted areas are the section headings. Okay, this larger bolded area, this bolded section, these bolded words are the company. Okay, the italicized word is the title. Okay, great. And then the bulleted areas underneath are the duties. Wonderful, with the action phrases. So you want to remain consistent throughout the resume. Make sure that you're using the same font style throughout the resume. Don't do Times New Roman in your heading and then Calibri and then Arial. It all needs to be the same font style, because it gets funky, So and you want to make sure that things are aligning. So all your bullets are aligned with each other. All the the section headings are aligned with each other, and all the dates are aligned with each other. So you're using your tabs and your indents and everything appropriately. And with that, it's important to note not to use those online templates, because a lot of times they're tabled. They're invisible tables in the Word document, and yeah, it makes everything structured and aligned, which is great. But so even though the University of Pittsburgh does not use AI software to review resumes and applications and stuff, every resume, cover letter, and application is read by human eyes at the University of Pittsburgh. Other organizations do use that AI ATS software, where it's searching for keywords and determining if your application is going to get in front of human eyes or get rejected. So tables and graphics are not readable to this AI software. They look beautiful. And so those types of resumes that use those graphics and columned sections and tables and stuff are better used when in person. Okay, at fairs or at an interview, networking events. When you're applying online, it's better just to use start with a blank Word document and then do everything manually. Okay, text like underlines and stuff are going to be the underline, underscore, and enter to make that nice, beautiful underline. And then you're going to have to tab everything and use your ruler to make sure everything's aligned. So make sure to have the ruler at the top in the ribbon. And then also, do not lie on your resume. Don't exaggerate. Be honest about your experience and your skills. When it comes to applying to that specific to jobs. So you're going to look at the jobs. The jobs are asking for these duties, these skill sets, this education. Be honest. Put in what you do have, but don't put in what you don't have. As I said, there's rarely a candidate that fits 100% of the job description. Don't discount yourself. Females tend to be more critical and more hesitant to apply if they don't fit 100% of the job description. I mean, it's just how it is. Don't discount yourself and your skills and your education and your experience. If you meet at least 80 to 85% of the qualifications, apply. Okay, let the hiring manager make the decision. Stay relevant to application materials and use relevant keywords from the job description. So let me bring back that job description here. Okay, so like this one, this laboratory technician 1. As I said, I just clicked on any job description. Operates and properly sterilizes equipment, maintains inventory, and assists with ordering. So inventory management, ordering, equipment sterilization, operates and maintains applicable laboratory equipment, laboratory or equipment maintenance. So keeps detailed, accurate, and timely data and logbooks. So data and logbooks, detail-oriented, organized, experience with lab cleaning. So it's like you're looking for all these key words and phrases. Now, this one's a very short and simple one, but some of them get a little longer. But you want to look at, let me look at one of the other ones. So maybe this, here's a nice, this one's a very long one, contract and procurement specialist. So this one's a more niche role, but you want to, so there's going to be a lot more that you can pull from and look for. So again, you're looking for the key skill words and phrases, have excellent judgment and time necessary. Okay. So experience working with suppliers, contract development, interpersonal and presentation skills. Let's see, meeting in it. So hopefully you get the thing, but so develop purchasing strategies, or you could just say purchasing strategies, analyzing purchasing patterns. So these are things that you want to look for in every job description. That's why a job search is a full-time job, because it takes time to review the job description, to tailor your resume, to tailor your cover letter to the job description and the company, because you're not just reviewing the job description, you're reviewing the company as well. Okay. So information, keep it strictly professional. Remember, you want to make the best impression, and you don't know who is on the other end. And at the university, if you're applying to University of Pittsburgh or any other university, it's all about, I mean, they're academics. A lot of them are academics. So they're going to be very strict on the grammar, and you don't want to write like you're speaking to a friend or a family member. Okay. And again, proofread. There, would, to, your, and your. I mean, there's all these things, right? So you want to make sure to proofread. Don't rely 100% on the computer to catch everything. So here's an example of a resume. Again, formatted. So it's all the same font style. Things are bolded, so the section heading is bolded. The title of the position is bolded. Every title is bolded. I like putting the dates on the other side, because to me the dates shouldn't be the focal point. So I like putting the dates behind on the right side. That's my preference, but this is one standard formatting. Again, even in the education section, the title of the degree is bolded. Instead of the position, the title of the degree is bolded. But you'll see that in the work experience and the education, it has the location, then it has the city, state. Location, what university, city, state. Okay, so you want to make sure your everything is aligned and looking organized. All the bullets are in line with each other. All the dates are left aligned with the title of the section headings. Some people can center their section headings. It's all up to you, but everything needs to be in line. If you center your section headings, they should all be centered and aligned. There's many right ways and many wrong ways to format a resume. Resumes should be no longer than 2 pages, 1 page or 2 page, 1 page or 2 pages. If you go to 2 pages, make sure it's almost either a full 2 page. It's full on the second page, or it's almost full on the second page. You don't want this little snippet at the second page, because then it's a lot of white space. If it's just a little bit at on the second page, condense into 1 page, or add more information to pull it down to complete the second page. So here's some resumes do's and don'ts. Provide accurate current contact information. So make sure your name is spelled correctly, your phone number is correct, your email's correct. It's so easy to make a typo. And you want to at least put your city, state. You don't need to put your full address, but you should at least put your city and state, so they know where you're located. List all relevant skills and experience. So don't put, like, if you're applying to a general administrative assistant role, they're not gonna, that's just like helping the directors with scheduling and planning travel and things like that, and taking meeting minutes. They're not gonna care if you know Java or C++ or R or Python, because the job doesn't require that. So don't add on all these extra things to your resume if it has nothing to do with the job. Now, you can add on some extra skills if it makes you pop out as a stellar candidate. So if you know multi-line phones, or if you type a certain number of words per minute, if you're changing careers from like nursing to executive, I'm just putting things out there, executive assistant, they're not going to care if you know activities of daily living, or how to, or phlebotomy. Those are great for similar roles if you're going to stay in the medical industry, but not if you're totally changing careers. So take the irrelevant information off and that'll create more space for you to put more relevant information in. So for the computer programs, list all related computer programs. So that's where reading the job description is important. If they're asking for Microsoft Office, Excel, PowerPoint, whatever the job description is asking for, make sure, if you have that experience, you want to make sure that those relevant computer programs and software are in your resume. And fill out the entire application. So if there's questions, you want to make sure you answer all the questions. If there's, you don't want to skip the education section. Now, I don't think our application system will allow you to skip the education section, but you never know. There could be a glitch. You want to make sure that when it comes to the last part of the application where it has you review everything, make sure everything is completed. Everything is addressed. And also, again, that's your time to proofread and check for errors. And ensure your resume is easy to read. The white paper is when it's printed off. So if you're going to an in-person fair or interview, you want to make sure it's on a nice, crisp, clean white paper and it's printed off in black ink. And when it's uploaded, you want to make sure everything's aligned and all. And double check that your documents uploaded correctly. As I said, sometimes when you upload something, it only uploads 3/4. I mean, you never know. So when you go to review your application at the end, double check everything. And then just provide clear, concise information for education. You don't have to put the date you graduated. If you graduated college like 30 years ago or something like that, just put completed or graduated. And then check your social media. Make sure everything is your LinkedIn profile, if it's on your resume. Make sure the link is working and that it's the correct, or if you don't even put the link, if you just copy paste without the link, the hyperlink, make sure it's the correct, everything is correct in that HTTPS. And then again, tailor your resume to the job description. Do not put personal information. So a lot of if you've worked in other countries, some other countries want a photo. Some other countries want your religion, your age, your marital status, your race, your sex. I mean, they ask for those things. Not all other countries, but some other countries do. We don't want that. We want to minimize the chance of implicit bias, unconscious bias, whatever you want to call it, coming into play. So again, that's why I said, like, if you graduated 30 years ago college, you can just put graduated. You don't have to put the date. And again, if your resume, a resume is not a CV. A CV is academia, faculty, postdoctorate. That's where it's going to. There is no limit to the amount of pages it could be, because they're going to have your conferences, your presentations, everything on there. But for a resume, for a non-academia type job, a staff job, it can be no longer than 2 pages, 1 page or a full 2 pages. And make sure all your information is complete. So if you don't remember the exact dates of, like, when did I work there? Oh my gosh, contact the human resources department at that company. And you could also possibly even look at your credit report. Sometimes it'll have the date, but I always recommend contacting the human resources office if the company is still in existence. If it's not still in existence, then use your best judgment. But if it is, then you're going to want to contact them, because we do background checks for every job. So the outsourced agency may contact former employers that you specified on your application. Okay, so you want to make sure that those dates are correct. And as I said, don't falsify information. If you didn't do it, don't put it on it. And if you have an inappropriate email address. So hotlips@gmail.com is not appropriate. Or or Pittsburgh Cats or something like that. That's not appropriate. You want to have your first name dot your last name or some kind of version of your name at Gmail or at Yahoo or at Outlook, but make sure it's at an email that you can access, that that and that you still have access to, and then just make sure that there's no typos. So cover letters, what is appropriate and what is not. Again, keywords from your resume that are transferable, and from the job description. Always address appropriately. If you're unsure, go with HR or hiring manager, like in the greeting, dear hiring manager or dear HR recruiter. None of our positions at the University of Pittsburgh have the person's name. So you want to go gender neutral, and do dear HR recruiter or dear hiring manager. And you want to address any concerns. So if there's gaps in your employment history, you want to address those, and that's an opportunity for you to address those in your cover letter. So you don't have to get very specific, but like like if you had to, if you were laid off and you were in an active job search and you were volunteering, you took the time to volunteer and improve, do professional development and education, improve your skill set, or if you had to leave your last job and take a time off for to take care of an ill family member. You can mention that, whatever it may be, but you don't have to get too specific. But try to put a positive twist on it, of how it improved, how you improved yourself during that time. And again, cover letters are no more than one page. It is a business block format, letter format, where you have your name and contact information, the date, and the employer's name and contact information, then dear hiring manager, dear HR, and then why are you, what a job you're applying to, why you're, what makes you the best fit, why you're interested, and all that fun stuff. You are not regurgitating things from your resume. You're expanding on things from your resume. And you have to tailor your cover letter to that job description, just like you did with your resume and that department. So that's where you're going to do your research on the company as to why you want to work there and how you will benefit them. And it's also an opportunity for you to find, like, is this a company that I really want to work at, that I think I'd be happy at? So with your research, like, look at their mission, vision, and values, and also the department's mission and vision and values. And you can also look at some of the staff members there to see if it might be a place you might be happy at. Okay, and then proofread. A cover letter is your chance to make yourself shine. You want to focus on your accomplishments, using numbers, percentages, and things that will make you the best of the best of the best. Gotta hurry up here. So here's some examples of cover letters. Again, standard block format, everything's aligned. You'll see that they're using the same heading as their resume. That is becoming more popular. That is okay to do. But you want to make sure the date of your application's there. You don't have to put hiring manager's name because, as I said, you're not going to know. Just put University of Pittsburgh, Office of Human Resources, and then our address, then dear hiring manager. I love the resumes with bullets because it draws the eye to the bullets. So this is where you can state some of those highlighted accomplishments with those numbers, those money amounts, those percentages that are relevant to that position. Okay, successes that you've had in similar duties that position requires. Okay, so effective job search and interview strategies. So some effective job search strategies are: establish your goals. What types of jobs do you want to do? Is it a career change? What are your career goals, and why are you looking for these types of jobs? Okay, and be selective with your search based on the goals that you set for yourself. Okay, a job search, nobody wants to be in a job that they don't like. That it's just to pay the bills. We want a career, right? So Be selective in your search. Make sure you're looking at jobs and applying to jobs that align with the goals that you set for yourself. And maintain a strong digital presence and develop your personal brand. So show up online, network with groups online, and get connected with go to networking events at the chamber if you can. These are times for ways that you can expand your personal and professional network and let other people know what your goals are, what you're looking for, and that you are in an active job search. And you can give them that beautifully crafted resume, the one that is more graphics, and colorful and stuff, because it's an in-person type thing, right? Attend job fairs, both virtually and in person. Visit the company's websites to learn about them, their mission, vision, values, if they give back to the community, whatever it might be, what kind of projects they're working on, who's working there. Look at the staff, the faculty, get some information on them. And leverage your current relationships. Let people know that you're looking and what you're looking for, and what types of organizations you're looking to work at. And join other professional organizations. The African American Chamber is phenomenal, but there's other. Try to find some more niche organizations. So if you're communication and marketing, American Marketing Association has a Pittsburgh chapter. Check their events out as well. And connect with someone in the department for which you're applying. So get those informational interviews. As I said, it's like you want to make sure that you're applying to a place that you will be happy at. So you want to get some, I wouldn't say insider information, but you want to get some information about from somebody that's actually working there or who has recently worked there. And then utilize a job search network log. So when I was job searching, I had an Excel spreadsheet that I would keep track of all the jobs I've applied to, when I applied to them, where I applied, and it was just a track of all my applications. So I knew what I needed to follow up on. Things that you can do to help prepare for yourself for an interview: review the job description ahead of time, right before the interview, so you can develop questions and get ready, get in the mindset of that job, and practice common interview questions and niche interview questions that could be related to that job. Make a list of appropriate questions to ask based on your research. So the job description doesn't answer everything for you. So you're going to have questions. You should have questions. And so make a list of questions ahead of time, and that you can ask at the end of the interview. Because at the end of any interview, they always ask, do you have any questions for us? Some of the questions they will have answered, but there's be others that they didn't. And you may have developed another question or two that during the interview based off of what they said. Remember, you are interviewing them and they're interviewing you. Okay, it's a two-way street. And prepare the logistics for the interview. If it's a phone, laptop, or if it's an in-person location, know what you need to prepare ahead of time. And then again, your interview dress, dress to impress. If it's a virtual interview, it's always good to dress fully, because you never know if you might accidentally stand up, and if you're in your knickers or shorts or something like that, they're going to see that. So you want to make sure to dress fully, even for a virtual interview. And check messages, your email and your voicemail, in case something changed. So in case they went from Teams to Zoom, or if it was an in-person meeting and they changed the time or the location, or maybe they canceled it and rescheduled it. You never know. People get sick, things happen, right? So check your messages. And the day of your interview, have breakfast. You want to fuel your mind and body, so you're alert. Be on time. To me, on time is about 10 minutes before the interview starts, because 10 to 15, because you want to make sure you have enough time to fix yourself up, and if it's in person, and your hair's combed and everything, and nothing's in your teeth. If it's virtual, about 10 minutes, just log in, because there's always tech issues, always. And again, check messages in case something has changed. Make the best impression. Practice your answers before your interview. common questions, niche questions, practice in front of a mirror with another person. PA CareerLink has a wonderful the big interview is free. If you create a free account with them, they have wonderful career resources. You can have a friend help you practice as well. And be specific with your answers when it comes to behavioral type questions. So I always like STAR. So STAR is very, it's sort of like, it's a method when answering behavioral questions. So it's talk about the situation, the task, what action did you do to address that situation, and what was the result? Okay, always tell them the result. What happened at the end, and what you may have learned. If maybe it didn't go as planned, what did you learn? And there are always two different types of questions in an interview: the traditional ones based on your education and experience, and the behavioral ones that are more task focused, people focused, interactions and conflict focused, and how you handle stress and everything, and challenges. Again, it's a two-way street. They're interviewing you, and you should interview them with the questions you have. Going to skip this one. We already kind of talked about that. So first impressions with a virtual interview: wear professional attire. Make sure you are in a quiet space and your devices are plugged in. One time I was doing a mock interview with somebody. Thank goodness it was a mock interview. And the last thing I saw was because her laptop died. And that was a great learning experience for her. So she made sure that her laptop was charged, plugged in and charging during the real interview. You want to sit up straight. So you want to have your camera aligned. You want to be looking at the camera. And I know every now and then I'm looking over here at my screens, but I'm not in an interview. When you're in an interview, the camera lens in your on your device is like their eyes. Okay, so because when you're looking down like this, it could look like you're sleeping. Because this is my laptop right now, and I'm looking at my screen, but it could look like I'm sleeping. So you want to look at the camera itself when you're answering questions. Okay. And then thank the interviewers at the end and ask what the next step in the process is. And make sure, I forgot to put this, that you write down the names of every interviewer that is in that interview with you. Again, for either virtual or in-person interview, you don't get a second chance to make a first impression. Your first impression is really your documents and your application, but the interview is a whole other way of making a first impression. So are you answering the questions? Are you paying attention? Are you do you sound interested in the role? Are you dressed properly? Is your hair a mess? Did you look like you just woke up? I mean, you want to make a great impression, so make sure that you put your best self forward. And if it's in person, you want to, if you are comfortable with a handshake, you can shake their hands and make good eye contact and smile. Not like an insane smile, but just a nice little grin when you're introducing yourself. And these are what people notice: your visual appearance, your behavior and demeanor, your mannerisms, your body language, your grooming and hygiene, and your material possessions and accessories. Do you have all this stuff with you? Or do you have your resume curled up and no paper or notebook? I mean, you want to have either your resume in a notebook or a portfolio. And this is another reason why you want to get there a few minutes ahead of time, so you can prepare yourself, because everybody's observing you. Oops. And interview dues. As I said, arrive early, dress to impress, stay positive, know your audience and use appropriate language. Ask for clarification if you don't understand a question. It's okay to do that. They know you're nervous. And log in to check your application status. Common pitfalls to avoid: don't write a general cover letter or for all your applications. Be specific and targeted. Follow instructions. If it says to include salary requirements, include salary requirements. If it doesn't, don't include them. Use those keywords. Don't make it too busy. Don't make it more than one page. Okay. Don't put too much detail in there. You are not regurgitating things from your resume. Use appropriate professional voice in your cover letter, and have a call to action. I look forward to speaking with you about this exciting position. Resume pitfalls. Again, it's not structured or formatted correctly. Fonts are all over the places. Sizes are all over the places. There's typos and grammatical errors. You're not putting relevant skills and experience on there. You're not using the keywords effectively. You're not using numbers. And you're using jargon, acronyms, and cliches. Those are things to avoid. Things to avoid in an interview. Don't fidget or bite or be on your phone. Don't chew gum or bring water or anything to the interview unless they offer you water. But again, if they offer you a bottle of water, don't be playing with the water bottle. Just sip and put it back on the table. Expand on questions, open-ended questions. Don't say yes, just say yes or no. Expand, give explanations, detail. Don't talk badly about former employers. And don't ask about salary and benefits unless you're offered the position. And don't ask, like, I'll take any job. Don't act desperate, okay? Because you need to be, as I said, interviewing them just as much as they need to be interviewing you. And don't contact them over and over and over again to ask about the position. Okay. So check your email daily, check your voicemail daily. I will be putting these resources, these linked resources, I'll be emailing them to Sean along with this presentation. Or you have the recording of the presentation. I'll be emailing these supplemental materials. Return phone calls the same day. They're not going to wait forever. Okay, you're not the only one they're calling. So return them the same day as soon as you can when you're in a quiet space. Keep business conversations to the point. Listen closely. When leaving a message, always leave your name, the reason for calling, and your phone number. And answer the phone professionally and in a pleasant voice. Make sure your outgoing message is professional. No music, none of if you have a children saying, if they're really cute, like my mommy's not here, or my dad. It's like it needs to be your voice or the general phone voice. Like, you've reached 412, blah blah blah. Please leave a message, and make sure your voicemail's up to date and that there's space for someone to leave a message. Make sure your inbox is not full. Okay, so delete old messages. Email, we already talked about professional email addresses using standard formatting, a clear subject line, dear hiring manager, or if you have the name, I would use their first name because you don't know if they're Mr. or Miss, and proofread, and use sincerely or respectfully as your sign off. And send a thank you note within 24 hours of the interview, 24 to 48 hours. Think about what you learned about the position. Check the status of your application in your online profile. And if you don't hear from the employer after the hiring timeline they initially indicated, follow up one time and just wait patiently. And that is it. Sorry, that went a little over because we started a little late, but any questions?
Andrea, I think this was excellent. This presentation, I'm definitely going to share with my daughters so they can see this.
Awesome.
One thing you were talking about was like the voicemail, because I know when they were looking for a job, but they would have had their old voicemail on there, like, yeah, this is such and such. If this ain't about money, don't leave me a message. Like, you can't have voicemail like that looking for employment.
Yep. Just say, this is Andrew Horton Reachley. I'm not available right now. Please leave your name, number, or you've reached 412-1111. Please leave your.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
Those are the common things. Either the voicemail's not set up, it's full, or they have an inappropriate message. Those are the three common things with voicemail. So.
Yeah. Andrea or Saliwe, do you want to talk about the references, the 5 references?
Oh, yes. Yes. Saliwe, why don't you talk about the 5 references?
Yeah, so here at the university, they require a minimum of 5 references for any employment across the board. Usually, typically, when I'm working with applicants and candidates, I always, even at the intake level, I always give them this information ahead of time, only because I know it's a pretty significant amount of people to have to contact and come up with so that, jobs can reach out. And sometimes you need time to kind of reach out to those people, give them a heads up and let them know. But mainly the larger thing with that is we use a third party platform to verify references.
Yes.
So very rarely will anyone from the university actually be calling these references. We utilize a software called Skill Survey, and so you're able to plug in the person's name, their title, their phone number, and their email address, and you're able to like set up a profile and generate mass email to all of the references that you have listed, and they will answer a series of like what is it, like five or six questions maybe, about 5 or 6 questions about
Yeah.
their work history and work ethic
Yes.
and those sort of things, and then they and it'll show in the system, and the applicant will be able to view who's who responded in real time. They're able to send out an automatic push if they haven't, to say like, hey, this is if something. It's an automated reminder email that says, hey, just a friendly reminder that you still need to submit this, but they really place a lot of emphasis on the 5 references, because at least like 2 of them, 1 to 2 of them, have to be a manager, some sort of manager or supervisor, or somebody who can vouch for your work history. And also, because it's so time consuming and they have so many applicants. Unfortunately, with a lot of candidates, I've seen several lose out on positions because their references haven't responded in a timely fashion. So, you know, the nice thing about the platform that we use though is they're able to go in and see who's responding, who's not responding, and they're able to send them the push. Me personally, I was getting on the phone and calling them directly, like, "Hey, I noticed you didn't do this. Can you go ahead and do this like today, or are you able to get that done today?"
This
Like,
is time
because
sensitive.
yes, this is extremely time sensitive, and some of the recruiter, like depending on the position and the level of urgency that they need to have a person in, they don't have a whole lot of time to wait for a person to get them in. So if they're not doing it within like a timely manner, I'm not going to put a time frame, because I know it differs across the board. But it's just we tell our folks that ahead of time, like far in advance, because we know that this one thing usually hangs people up because it's so many.
Yes.
Typically it's 3, but we ask for 5. So that piece is very important, because like I said, I've saw candidates that I've been working with really like miss out on opportunities, which is so heartbreaking. Like, you made it all the way to the end, to the offer.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like your references are so yeah, so that's they're very, very staunch about that at the university with the references.
Yeah, so that's why it's
Mhm.
always good to ask the references first before you use them, so
Yes.
they know to
Mhm.
expect something.
Right.
And then once you send it the first time, let them know, hey, I just sent
Mhm.
this from Skills Survey. It's to your email. Please check your junk folder in case
Mhm.
it went there. And this is time sensitive. I appreciate you being a reference for me. And I actually, when I was doing mine, I said this is time sensitive. They need it by tomorrow. I set the deadline myself.
Hey.
But tomorrow by
Yes.
5 p.m., and they all did
And
it. They all did.
and sometimes,
That's awesome.
with
That's great.
with regards to the delay of the response, sometimes it's not even intentional, but some people just aren't as technologically savvy as
Yeah.
they like to be. So sometimes with those sort of things, it might take a little, while. But I'm with Andrea. I was like, I always tell my people ahead of time when when I know that I'm going to be, wanting to use them as a reference, I'll ask them ahead of time. But yeah, I'm like Andrea. I was like, need this ASAP. If you
Yep.
can get in by,
Yep.
today, tomorrow, that'd be great.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah.
Also,
Mhm.
when you ask them ahead of time, you can verify that you have the correct email and phone number that they want
Yeah,
you to use, because emails are
absolutely.
always changing and phone numbers are always changing.
Mhm.
So when you input them in your profile,
Yeah.
when in the skill survey account, then it's the correct information.
Yeah, and in reference to the correct phone number and the contact information, like if these are like I had two who were references from my previous employer, and they were no longer there at the university either. I mean, at the college either. So to update to say, hey, which contact or email is going to be best, so we can send this out. we'll have it send it to your personal, your personal Gmail account as opposed to your, your account from where we work. And so, yeah.
So I put my contact information in the chat. Thomas, if you want to put yours in as well, feel free to reach out to any one of us. We'd love to.
We did.
Yeah,
you did?
there,
We put ours
Oh,
in
awesome.
early. Yeah.
Okay,
When it
cool.
first started.
Thanks. So I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go first.
I was gonna say, feel free to reach out to any one of us, so we can do a candidate intake with you if you're interested in applying to jobs, staff positions, non-faculty staff positions at the university, and we can do a candidate intake with you, get more information from you about your career goals, your expectations, your requirements, your salary requirements as well, and explore opportunities with you at the university. For those that we do a candidate intake with, we have a bi-weekly, usually we have a bi-weekly, occasionally it lands on a holiday, but usually we have a bi-weekly meeting with all the recruiters on the campus. That's all staff recruiters and all temporary recruiters. So we have an internal temp agency as well, that staffs are temp jobs across campus. So we meet with them bi-weekly and we show the resumes of individuals we've done intakes with. We talk about them and see if the recruiters might have any openings that they're currently recruiting for, or know something that's about to open up that the individual might be a good fit for. Then we relay that information back to the individual. And it's sort of like a nice advocacy, no guarantees, but a nice advocacy for the candidate. And you can also let us know when you apply to jobs, and we can get those in front of the recruiter.
Well, I'd like to thank you, Andrea, Thomas, and Salud. This was excellent. You will receive a survey from information@aaccwp.com. Please fill that out so we can let our speakers know how good they did. And this concludes our session.
Thank you so much, Sean.
Thank you,
You're welcome.
Sean.
Y'all have a good one.
Everyone.
You too. Thank you, everybody, for
That was
attending.
awesome.
We
I'm glad
appreciate
you
it.
liked it.
Take care. Bye now.